America, known for its global influence, also ranks high in food waste production. In 2016, the federal government established a bold goal to halve food waste by 2030. However, recent findings reveal a significant gap between these ambitions and actual progress. Despite the targets, the U.S. remains among the top 3 countries wasting the most food. Plans aim to reduce average waste to 164 pounds per person by 2030, but progress remains stagnant. A new study led by researchers at the University of California, Davis uncovers an alarming truth. Food waste per person has been climbing instead of descending since 2016. Sarah Kakadelis noted, "We're just 5 years away from 2030, so it's quite alarming how little progress we have made. More comprehensive policies need to be implemented as soon as possible." Kakadelis is a postdoctoral researcher with the UC Davis Department of Food Science and Technology. This study sheds light on the alignment, or lack thereof, between state policies and federal targets. It's up to individual states to decide which policies to execute. Most state-privileged policies lean towards methodologies like composting and anaerobic digestion, more recycling and less prevention and rescue. The scale tips more towards turning waste into compost than feeding the hungry or channeling it towards animal feed. Instead of recycling our excess food, we should be redirecting as much as we can to populations that need it, noted Kakadelis. In 2021, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency modified its definition of food waste to exclude recycling. Composting or recycling food certainly keeps landfills clean, but we should also consider the resources consumed in food production. When we waste food, we're wasting all the resources it takes to grow that food, including energy, water, and fertilizer, noted the researchers. Meanwhile, wasted food represents 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. The researchers evaluated the state's potential to reduce food waste across 4 policy areas: prevention, rescue, repurposing, and recycling. The findings suggest that recycling policies have a high diversion potential, but many states are still not reaching their targets. Among all the states, only California, Vermont, and Arizona are on track to achieve the reduction goal. Using the revised EPA definition that leaves out recycling, states could divert as little as 11 pounds to as high as 30 pounds per person. Nevertheless, the amount of food waste generated by Americans would still be around 328 pounds per person annually. This figure is double the federal target. The COVID-19 pandemic may have played a role in the recent rise of food waste. People were more cautious about food waste during the initial lockdown phase. However, with the resumption of normal activities, old habits may be creeping in. When state policies focus on recycling, it's very easy to think we're addressing the food waste problem. Recycling food waste is important but not the only solution, nor should it be the first, said Kakadelis. The researchers passionately believe that policies should focus more on waste prevention and rescue. While policies and recycling efforts dominate discussions on food waste, individual habits and consumer awareness play a pivotal role in reducing waste at its source. Studies reveal that households account for a significant portion of food waste, often due to over-purchasing, improper storage, or a lack of understanding of expiration labels. For example, confusion over best by and use-by dates leads many to discard perfectly edible food. Educating consumers about mindful shopping, meal planning, and storage techniques could have a profound impact. Initiatives like community food sharing apps and workshops can further help households reduce waste and redirect surplus food to those in need. By promoting greater awareness and equipping consumers with practical tools, the U.S. could make significant strides in meeting its 2030 food waste reduction goal. However, without widespread behavioral changes, the collective effort required to cut waste in half may remain elusive. For the full story, find a link to the article on Earth.com in the description.